again. This is Stuck Case. My brother from North Carolina and my nephews asked me to put together just a little bit of an explanation about some of the different bullets that we have available to us today and what their applications might be in different calibers and for different types of game. What I have for you in front of me here is just a small sample of what we have. Most of them are 30 caliber, being my preferred caliber. I do have some here for the 5.56, but I wanted to go over and start with some of the basics for setting your gun up for hunting. And when it comes to hunting, what I mean is the specific game which you intend to hunt, and more along the lines of the area in which you're hunting. For instance, West Virginia sized deer, I've mentioned it in several videos before. They're not armored tanks. They're not very big. They average anywhere from 100 to 125, maybe 150 pounds for a large one. They do not require an ear-gespitten loading boomer. They don't require a 300 Ultra Magnum to do what needs to be done to put one in the freezer. Several deers over the years have been taken with what you see here. This is a 55 grain Spitzer soft point. That is a Hornady bullet. It is set up as a varmint bullet, meaning that it will rapidly expand. You can see the lead tip on it, the exposed lead tip. Upon impact, it immediately starts to mushroom. And this is a cup and core type bullet, they call it. What this is a core of lead that is pressed into a cup of copper, and then it is formed in a set of dies around that particular lead core. So there is a lead core exposed to facilitate mushrooming on impact. This particular bullet, if it was encounter some kind of hard target, if you wanted to try to use it as self-defense, not your best option. Soft targets, absolutely. This is a great varmint bullet, which the box, it'll even tell you on the side of the box right there, as you can see. If not, I'll grab it here and show you. Varmint bullet, 22 caliber, gives you the specifics. Now the candelure, as you see right here, what that is that little groove going around there for a crimp. If you wanted to use it in like a military style rifle, like an AR-15, where you can prevent bullet setback, you can actually crimp the casing into that groove. That way, if it was to hit into something hard while entering into the chamber, it wouldn't set the bullet back in the casing. Very popular bullet for me for use in my AR-15. I have taken deer with that particular bullet. I've shot about everything you can think of. Very cheap bullet. You can get that for anywhere from $15 to $20 for a box of 100. Moving along, we get into a more custom type premium bullet, they refer to it as. Now this one's very light. This one right here is a Barnes BarrettttsX. As you can see, it has a ballistic tip on it, similar to the Nosler bullet, which gives it a very aerodynamic profile, which helps get its BC, its ballistic coefficient, up. It has two grooves machined into it to reduce friction in the barrel, which aids in velocity so that you can have a little more pressure on this bullet as compared to other bullets in its weight class. This particular bullet is made out of all copper. There is no lead in this bullet. It is not like that cup and core design. This bullet is designed to mushroom. As it impacts, it drives this, I believe that's some kind of neoprene or whatever it is, the plastic, into the copper, which facilitates a mushroom. Not uncommon to recover anywhere from 85% or higher weight density out of this bullet after it impacts something. They generally don't fragment like the cup and core designs will. So it holds together very well, so you can push this at very high velocities and get high impacts without bullet fragmentation. It's not uncommon for this bullet to actually not even be recovered. Full penetration, bullet in, bullet out, two holes to bleed through. Very, very popular bullet. There are others that do not have the plastic on the end of it. It's simply an all copper bullet made by Barnes. but this is a premium bullet. These bullets are sold by the 50. They generally run the cost of twice of what this would be for 100. This will cost you 50. It's not uncommon for these to be around $30 for 50. Then we move on to a very old design, but a very good one. If you was to choose to say hunt West Virginia size deer, what I have here is a 180 grain spear boat tail soft point. You can see it gets its boat tail, and its shape is very aerodynamic. Can be used for longer ranges, but again, a cup and core design. You have the exposed lead, which on impact immediately starts to mushroom. Again, same bullet here. It's not uncommon for this, if pushed at high velocities, for the jacket and the lead to separate, dumping all of its energy into the target. Very aerodynamic design, very good design. And again, these have been around since, the 50s, 40s, somewhere 60s in those areas. It's very popular design. Sierra makes them, Spear makes them. Nosler use their patrician's a little bit different because it has a piece of copper in the center that actually holds the bottom portion of the lead crimped inside of the bullet to hold the lead to the jacket. This particular cup and core design does not have that. It's simply a piece of copper pressed in over top of a core of lead. These right here, I think they're around $20 to $25 a hundred. That's 180 grain Spitzer bow tail. Very, very good deer bullet. If you're wanting to shoot whitetail, you could take that particular bullet anywhere where there are white-tailed deer and not feel that you are undergunned or have a bullet that's not made to do what it needs to do. Also, depending on the range, depending on the caliber, another bullet that you may not recover may go clear through. Then we move on to, this is the Spear TNT. This is a 125 grain hollow point. I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but the open tip here, very small lead core in here. Probably from here to the tip, no lead whatsoever. As you can see, there are skives on the jacket of the bullet. What this does when this thing hits an object is it fragments like a grenade. It's the harder you push it, the more it fragments. I have taken deer with this. The extended ranges out to 300 yards performs very well. Closer you get, the more fragments. It's pretty much designed as a varmint bullet. It is meant to blow up on impact. Not a deep penetration bullet whatsoever. Can be shot at very, very high velocities. Very, very popular design for varmint hunters right here. Depending on the caliber, smaller, bigger, longer, weight, all that good stuff. But the design doesn't change much. You get about 5/8, maybe 3/4 of the bullet itself. Interior will be a core of lead. The rest of it is just a nice soft J4 jacket to where you can push it at a very high velocity. Probably one of the most popular designs ever in the firearms industry, the Match King Hollow Point made by Sierra. This particular bullet is a shame they don't make it anymore in this weight class. This is a 180 grain hollow point bow tail, cup and core design, but the nose profile here, the ogive they call it, is designed for extreme distance. This bullet is not designed to shoot animals, unless it would be in the hands of a professional, where there be a headshot or something along the spinal cord kind of shot from a precision rifle. This bullet quite often is used by people to hunt with, and it should not be. There are a lot better choices. You could go with this bullet right here and do the game some justice. But this particular bullet right here, if you were wanting to shoot 1,000 yards, say in a 30-06, 300 Win Mag, 308, very tough design to beat. Flies through the air well. The weight distribution is great. Bucks the wind. Boat tail design. Closed tip. Very good design, but not designed for game. This would also be somewhat of a hard target bullet. It is not a full metal jacket. As you can see, it does have an open tip on it, a hollow point. But for precision work. Probably one of the most common bullets that you're going to come across in the United States of America, if not the world. This particular bullet right here is what I shoot out of my 300 Winchester Magnum. As you can see, if you compare it side by side with the 180 grain bullet, this is a 215 grain Berger VLD match bullet. You can see it's a lot longer, a lot more streamlined with a secant ogive, long tapered boat tail, cup and core design. There is a lead core in there, but this bullet is streamlined for long range precision. It has been used. I've seen guys who documented it where they show that they have taken elk and they have taken this and they've taken that again. If in the hands of a long range precision rifle with a person that knows what they're doing with it, it can be effective. I do not condone that kind of stuff. I have done it in the past myself, and you live and you learn. But this particular bullet right here, if you're wanting to shoot 1,000 plus, even out to a mile, this is a very popular bullet. This is a 215 grain Berger VLD. Very high ballistic coefficient, very good weight distribution for the diameter in 308. Very popular bullet, but I would not recommend hunting with it unless you can absolutely put them in where they need to be. And last that I have to offer to you, sort of a cross. Here is your target bullet, your hybrid bullet made by Berger. Here is their version of as close as they can get to a precision rifle bullet, and also offer a fragmenting slash mushrooming style bullet. This is the 155 grain Berger VLD hunting. Very streamlined, hollow point design, cup and core, nice boat tail. This is a 155 grain version. I have not shot deer with this. I do have some in my 308 loaded up. I have taken this bullet to 1,000 yards and shot some pretty good groups with it out of my 308, but I've not taken game with it. I have other rifles, 30-06, shooting this kind of bullet and this kind of bullet, but I have taken game with these type of bullets, but again, this one here, I have not. I've used this for more precise work with a good design at 155 grain weight class, a great weight class for the 308. Really gets a good BC out of a bullet where you can get a lot of oomph behind it and velocity. Where this bullet right here, you carry the weight and the momentum at long range, plus a good BC. This one here gives you a high BC with a high velocity. With a velocity being part of the algorithm, but ballistic coefficient isn't everything. It is a very important part for long-range accuracy, but it is not the end-all, be-all. Time of flight is another one, part of the algorithm. For those mathematicians that might be watching, you find the balance for what your rifle needs for the distance you want to shoot. Say at 600 yards, the time of flight would be very important for this bullet, being probably less wind drift than, say, this bullet because of its slower time of flight. Where at 1,000 yards, when this bullet starts to lose its steam, this bullet right here will still be trucking, holding its velocity because of its momentum. So at the end of the day, at the longest ranges, the bullet with the BC and the weight will tend to start overcoming the higher velocity bullets with the lower BC. So it's sort of like the mathematical equation. You have to find what suits your need for what you intend to do with the rifle. If you want to shoot 600 yards, probably your bullet. If you want to shoot 1,000, this will probably outdo this one. But this one here will give you a mushrooming effect. And if you get on their website, they'll tell you that this one here, you will take it down to about 1,300 feet per second. It'll still perform by mushrooming or fragmenting. So gives you a nice broad spectrum, 3,000 feet to 1,300 feet. That'll get you out to about 800 yards with this bullet, I believe. 1,300 feet will, maybe 900 out of a 308. Of course, you put in 300 Magnum, you'll get a little more distance to where you can have fragmentation or mushrooming. But I wanted to cover this. My brother asked me to go through this. Again, soft points, premium bullets, Again, soft point streamlined. It can give you a little more aerodynamics, give you a little more distance. Varmint grenades, match kings. Use it on paper or steel. Long range precision. Very similar in design, except for the ogive. Again, it's a long streamline. And then what the cross, I would like to call them crosses. This is where they try to make a match bullet that still performs like a hunting bullet. So at the end of the day, I think the question you need to ask yourself is what you intend to do with the rifle. With all the ammunition that's offered out there, it's very easy to just grab this and say I want to be a sniper. But do the game some justice. If you're going to be shooting 300 yards and in, this bullet here will take anything in North America. If you're really wanting to make a laser beam out of it, 0 to 300, get the premium. If you have the money, buy the premium bullet. You're not going to recover this one out of a 30-06. That's 110 grain TTSX. That'll be a laser beam. You can sight that in a couple inches high at 100, and your point of impact will go out to about 360 yards to where you don't have to make any compensations in your scope. Very good option right there. If you're keeping it at a close distance, 125 grain TNT, West Virginia, that'll take a deer. That won't even think twice. Put it behind the front shoulder, and you're going to be putting it in the freezer. Do I recommend it for long range work? No, it's not that kind of bullet. It's meant to be pushed hard and then blow up upon impact. Overall, good bullet for 5.56. A Spitzer with some exposed lead will not fail you if you're hunting. If you're wanting to try to save a pelt, not a very good bullet. You may want to go with a 224 caliber Match King if you're looking to make save pelts on whatever it is, whether it be coyotes or so forth. But again, try to be as precise as possible. You make sure you know your limitations of your gun, and then you can shoot these type of bullets in your 5.56 using precision work. So, covering everything, I think I've done based on what I have here. I didn't get into the pistols to show you what I got going on there, but different premium bullets, different types of bullets. Again, the question you need to ask yourself is, what do you intend to do with your rifle? If you intend to hunt with it, do the game justice. Ask yourself, well, just exactly what are my limitations? How far can I accurately shoot even under stress? How far can I accurately shoot? That'll give you an idea of what kind of bullet you need to look for. Caliber-wise, West Virginia-sized deer does not require much. 5.56 will do it. 30-06 will do it. 308 will do it. All the new 6.5s, pick a good bullet with some type of expanding tip, and you're more likely going to be putting it in the freezer. My favorite all-time caliber, I like to throw that out there. If there was asked me one caliber to have for everything, I have a 30-06. I've been using it since I've been 10 years old, and it has wore brass out that I've actually had to throw away because the primers would fall out of it, and it still shoots well. And I do not chase deer. When I load that up with a premium, a good quality bullet here, say like the Spitzer Bowtail from Spear or a Sierra Game King, 150 grain Game King, when I pull the trigger, I usually gut it where I shot it at. So wanted to throw that out there so that you could show my nephews a little bit of difference in what type of bullets they can choose, and specifically when it comes to the caliber, choose your bullet based on what it is you're wanting to hunt.